Alexandra craft, and now that we've introduced the sofa, I think it's here to stay. So, you know, let's do this. Alexandra. Not Lara.
No, you said Alexandra. He did.
I did say Alexandra.
He said Alexandra.
We want to confuse you.
I was already confused. Don't make me any more confused. So, here we go. So, welcome. So, Alexandra is an interior designer who transitioned from banking and finance to a whole new world of creativity. And if you want to know how and what Alexandra did, I'll hand over the microphone.
Thank you, Maxime. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Maxime, for the introduction. So actually, a lot has already been said. So many good things have already been said. So there's a lot of pressure to bring on something interesting, something new. Also, when Dieter invited me to speak at a creativity conference, I was like, me at a creativity conference? I think I'm like the creative newcomer here. And I still find it hard to kind of think of myself as a creative person, because I've been all my life a business person, right? And thinking now back, we've been talking so much about the child. Thinking back, I think I was a very misunderstood child, because I always had this creativity in my mind, but I was never able to express it for a very simple reason. I'm very unartistic in terms of drawing. My grandfather was an architect, and I kind of was always very impressed with what he's doing, and I loved architecture, but I was simply never able to draw a straight line. So, yeah, I probably had those teachers in school who were also not the most encouraging. My parents kind of tried, but then when it came to the school days, I don't think I was very encouraged in that direction. I was one of those students who were constantly at the principal, which I think happens to a lot of students who are just a bit misunderstood, not really fostered in the right direction. Probably I could say I was a bit of a troubled child. And yeah, when it came to university, it never came to my mind that I could do architecture, because that's it was so far away. I was not talented for that. And then so many years later, kind of a very funny twist of fate brought me to an interior design company in India. So I joined them as a business development person, bringing in architects and designers from all across the globe to work in India. And I was traveling a lot, which is one of my passions, and just recruiting designers and architects, being exposed to so many different things what they're doing, and I kind of really found myself there, but still it never came to my mind that I could be an interior designer myself, or even my clients call me now this is my interior architect, and I'm still standing there and I'm me, really? So it feels very, very odd still. But continuing to what Amy was saying, or following on what Amy was saying before, how technology changes also the way how you can be creative. It was 20 years ago, if you would ask me what would be the magic tool that you want to have in 20 years, for me it would be to bring what I have in my mind to a screen, because in the industry that I work in, I mean, here you have a completely other path, which was very funny for me or very interesting for me to listen to your talk, because yeah, I think my way is so completely different. So for me, the accessibility to this technology that just allows me today to kind of bring what I have in my mind to a screen or to a paper at the end of the day, so I can like communicate it to my clients, because most of my clients obviously don't have this visual mind. Like when I tell them like I've seen this and this and this there, they're like, oh, I can't imagine it at all. So in our industry, I mean, doing like good visualizations is simply getting more and more important. And this is like really the tool. I mean, before there, like, yeah, there used to be architects who simply could sketch it. Then I would have never been able to do that. So by having these technologies today, I'm basically finally, after so many years and like completely different, with different hats on, I finally feel I've like arrived at where I was probably supposed to be the entire time, enabled by these technological possibilities that we have. And also, I think what plays a big role is kind of like the, which we see happening now so much with COVID, but also before, like the access to all this remote working. So I have my visualization people right now actually sitting in Lebanon. There is so much talent in Lebanon. Yeah, I mean, the process is simply amazing. I just, I sent them some reference images, I sent them some very terrible sketches. My sketches are terrible, as I said, can't draw a straight line. And I mean, obviously it's a bit of a back and forward. That's why I said it would be amazing to just have like a chip in my hat that is, able to just process on a screen what I have in my mind. It would be so cool. But yeah, still, like with a bigger time gap, I would say we reach there at the end of the day to show them what I have in my mind. So, so yeah, I think this is something which I also like about your speech. It's never too late to start being creative, and I think with all the technologies that we have today, or basically I think the technology that we have today is opening up a whole new horizon for creativity. Yeah, I think that's my story and that's my message, and bring it to people that, sorry, no, another thing that I want to add. I think a lot of actually people kind of have this problem that they have been like put their entire life into a complete wrong direction, and again, I think this is really something that's amazing in today's world and the technologies that we have, that people can start exploring like a lot of things that were simply not possible before. Thank you. That was easier than I thought.
Does anyone have any questions at all? Any things? Any challenges? We could do like pub quizzes, but yeah.
I just want to say that it's also never too late to learn sketching. It's very easy, believe me, and it's not hard. It's very geometrical. It's very mathematical. It's not art. It's really a science to sketch something. So I encourage you, even if you have people doing 3Ds, to sketch in a plane, in a car, but you have to take the basics.
Yeah. I'll talk to you more about that. Yeah, what is my question? So basically, which technology has changed the most the way how you're being creative, and how?
All right. Okay. So there's your question. Big round of applause, please. I just cannot stand the dramatic tension of these brown envelopes. So you have, thank you very much, and we have just a few moments now. Have a think about it, discuss it, find somebody you haven't spoken to yet. I know what happens in these things, like you turn around to the person you spoke to last time, and then the teacher at the front of the class says, speak to a different person. Speak to it. You never know what you're going to learn.